this is a whole ribeye. It is one of the most popular steak cuts that you can buy. Today, we're gonna go over 4 different ways to cut and cook this ribeye. Now, some of these you may know, some of you may not know. We're gonna use every method that we can think of to totally unlock the majesty of the ribeye. Let's go. The rib primal cut sets between the chuck and the short loin. So in here you have, as you go further down the ribeye, it changes. The amount of fat and lean on the steak changes completely. As you can see from this side, which we'll show here, the spinalis or ribeye cap is already starting to form. So this is the side I want to start from. The first thing I'm gonna do is take 2 big ribeye steaks. We're gonna cook those up. They're gonna be delicious, but I wanna do some thick ones because the whole reason we do this is for the customization. I wanna be able to have a big, thick ribeye and cook it and be delicious. All right, so here's our first recipe. We're gonna just grill a ribeye. Now, I will say till I'm blue in the face, the reason that we cut our own ribeye steaks and steaks in general is to get the customization. We can get a thick steak, you can get a thin steak, and you can see all the different preparations that we're gonna do today and really get the most variety out of one cut of meat. We're gonna do this over open fire. Now, I've been really getting into open fire cooking. I haven't done a lot of in the past, and man, it has been one of these things where I'm always firing up the fire pit and doing some over the fire cooking. So we're gonna go ahead and season this up. We're gonna tie this one up because this first cut that I made, some of the muscles are separating just a little bit, and that'll happen as you're cutting down some of your ribeyes. So we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna just tie this up real quick, and then we're gonna put our meter probe in, and then we're gonna head outside. Basic steak preparation. A little bit of oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then we're going to go ahead and grill it until it reaches an internal temperature of about 125-ish, 120. Then it'll carry over into that nice 130 range, to that nice medium rare, medium, right in between. So that's what we're looking for today. We're gonna be using the meter 2. I use it all the time. It helps to tell you when to take the meat off. And you know, hey, here we go. Let's get to it. So here we go. Here is our delicious ribeye that we cooked outside over the fire. And you know, it went pretty well. That little twine that I put around trying to make it look pretty just went away really quickly. You know, sometimes the meat just doesn't want to help you. Just doesn't want to make it photogenic today, but it's still gonna taste awesome. Again, it took us about 4 minutes aside, pulled it at like 120, and there we go, man. Let it rest. I made a garlic butter that I'm gonna use a little fancy rosemary to paint it on there. But like, so in here is garlic, butter. I cooked that together and then added some Worcestershire sauce, some salt and pepper. Just keep it real simple, and we'll just kind of douse that over there as it rests. So I already hit it once as I was resting, and then we'll hit it again. All right, here we go. There we go, medium rare, delicious. Oh my goodness. The juice is just going crazy. The butter, everything is so good. Should we give it a taste? It's a ribeye cooked outside, over fire, over wood. Man, this is so good. Ah, woo. Just simple, simple. Next, I'm gonna show you how to cut and cook the ribeye cap. So we're gonna take the ribeye cap off, roll it, tie it, and make it delicious. Stay with us for that one. So next, what we're gonna do is take off the ribeye cap off of the whole ribeye. We're gonna take the best bite and we're gonna cut it all off, and we're gonna roll it up and make it into its own steak. It's really cool. Very quickly, today we're using the Butcher Wizard collection of butcher knives. We have a 6-inch boning knife, we have a 10-inch breaking knife. These are essential tools if you're gonna be breaking down big cuts of meat. Go check the link in the description, and let's get to it. So what we're gonna do from here is find this seam. So this is the ribeye cap, and you can kind of see this seam over the top. So we're gonna go ahead and release that a little bit with our knife, and then just use our thumb. We're basically taking off this cap right here. And the less you can do with your knife, the easier it's going to be to make sure you don't cut through any meat. Again, just releasing this cap muscle. There's a natural seam in there, so it's really helpful. If I'm going to make a prime rib, I may or may not want to take the cap off, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but we are doing this to get this delicious cap off of the ribeye so we can make the most decadent steak known to man. So there is our ribeye cap, and now we have our ribeye that does not have the cap but still has a lot of great marbling in between, so we can work on that here in a minute also. All right, so here is our ribeye cap. So basically we're just gonna go through and just clean it up. You're just gonna take your 6-inch boning knife and just go ahead and get the big chunks of fat, get the silver skin. There's a lot of silver skin that goes from here to here, so we're gonna have to deal with that. And then that way you have, every time you bite into this steak, it's just gonna be that well-marbled, delicious steak. So now we have our really well-marbled ribeye cap. We're gonna roll this thing up. About every 1.5 inches or so, we're gonna go ahead and tie our knot. I know for some of you who've watched some of my videos, I'm really bad at all things measurements. So if, cut it however thick you want it. Here's a quick tutorial on the butcher's knot. So you're gonna put your butcher's twine here, like a couple inches past where you wanna go. You're gonna take 2 fingers and we're gonna go around twice. And then you're gonna pick up the extra end, pull it through, tighten it up. Do another knot, and then we have our knot. You can also just, cut each side and tie it up. It's not, I won't be mad at you. You can still just tie it up. We're just trying to keep everything together because we're gonna make cuts in between the strings and then, go from there. So from here, once we have everything nice and tied, then we're just gonna cut in between the butcher's twine, and then we have a nice ribeye cap steak. Look at all the marbling on all these steaks. This is gonna be a delicious bite. Let's go cook them up. All right, so now it's time to cook our ribeye caps. So again, we're just gonna do the same kind of preparation. Oil, salt, pepper. We're gonna get a really hard sear in a cast iron skillet and then cook these in the oven until they reach that 120 degrees. But again, we're just gonna make it like a little fillet, like a little steak. And then it's gonna be delicious. We're gonna slice it up and give it a taste. Remember, this is the most succulent part of the ribeye. We've taken the best part off of the ribeye and made it its own steak. I can't wait to see how this turns out. Let's go to it. So here we go. Here are our ribeye cap steaks. So let's undo this little twine here that held them all together, slice them open. I'm really excited about this one because it's something that you don't do every day, and it's only possible if you get your own ribeye and cut it yourself. So it might be the best piece of the cow for a reason. It is so well marbled. The flavor is awesome. And this is just salt and pepper. We didn't do anything crazy to this. Salt, pepper, seared it, and this turns out so, so good. I had a question whether this would be worth it. It wouldn't be worth it to go to all the trouble to get your whole ribeye and do all this stuff to it. I think it is. This is on its own might be worth the entire thing we've done today. This is really good. Next, we're gonna do good old-fashioned prime rib. So let's go cut a prime rib and I'll show you how to cook it. Let's go do it. So far, we've taken off a big ribeye steak. It was great. We then took out the ribeye cap, made steaks out of it. Oh, delicious. So now what we're gonna do is make a prime rib. Since we've taken the rib cap off, you've kind of taken off the most delicious part of the prime rib, but here's the thing, there's still great marbling throughout the entire roast. So you are gonna be able to have a delicious prime rib, but you've taken off like this secret for yourself. Maybe if you're doing Easter, or you're gonna do Mother's Day or Father's Day or something, and you want to this is for me. I'm gonna take off the best part, make it into steaks for me. Then you're gonna make prime rib for the rest of the family that may not realize that you've taken off the best part of the steak. So this is just another way that you can go ahead and cut this. So we're gonna take this prime rib and we're gonna make a big old cut right here, and then we'll clean it up. So here is our beautiful prime rib. You can make it as big as you want. That's the great thing about what we're doing here. You can customize this however you want. You want a big old huge prime rib? Great. We can make a prime rib out of this. Once you have it here, we're gonna take off some of the, where the bones, where the rib bones were connected, this rib meat right here, and all this is going to grind. Everything I'm putting in this other bowl is going to grind, so we're gonna not waste anything. Everything in here is edible. And again, you can make this as big or as small as you want. We're just gonna clean up some of this fat on the outside. We wanna leave a 1/4 inch of fat around the edge, make it delicious, fat is flavor, all that stuff. Again, this will be a smaller one for a couple of people, and maybe you wanna make yours bigger, you go right ahead. We are customizing everything to what you are going to make. Whew, I'm giving you all the keys to the Ferrari here, guys. We have our nice little baby prime rib here. Let's go cook this thing up. It's gonna be so good, I can't wait. Who doesn't love prime rib? Everybody loves prime rib. It's really good. Here we go, let's cook this one up. So to make our prime rib, we're gonna keep it super simple. What I like to do is I take my prime rib and I will use some Worcestershire sauce as my binder. Okay, make sure you get it all over there. We'll rub it around. Again, I love Worcestershire sauce, as I can't say it, but I love it. And anytime I can get that flavor into the meat, I'm down. So we're going with one of my favorites, the Montreal steak seasoning. It's like don't get crazy, people. Just tried and true. Here we go. Make sure you get all sides. I'm gonna take my meter probe, I'm gonna put it in the middle of the prime rib, and then this is the meter 2. Again, check the link in the description. It tells you exactly when it's done. Technology is such a great thing. Here we go. Put it on a wire rack. Let it go at 400 until the probe tells you it's done. We're looking for 125 degrees internal. That way, when it rests, it will be a beautiful medium rare. So let's put it in the oven. I'll tell you when it's done and we will taste it. It'll be delicious. Thank you. All right, here we go. Here's our prime rib, our little baby prime rib. The crust on the outside is really, really good. So let's slice in this puppy and see what we got going on. All right, here we go. A steaming pile of prime rib. It looks so, so good. Even without the ribeye cap, it's still so moist, so juicy. Everything is great. Let's get a big old bite here. So good, so flavorful, so juicy. I mean, this is as good as it gets here. Prime rib, everyone's favorite when it comes to ribeye. Let's hit the next recipe. All right, just to recap. So we've done a big, thick ribeye steak. We've done a ribeye cap steak, which was succulent and delicious. We've also done a prime rib. Oh my goodness. What else could we possibly do? Oh, I have something. This is the curveball. We're doing pizza. So what I'm gonna do is on the strip loin end, it gets leaner and leaner and leaner. I'm gonna use this end and we're gonna take a chunk and I'm gonna make pizza out of it. Now, I know what you're saying, like ribeye pizza, like what are we doing? I'm gonna show you how to make a ribeye pizza that will blow your socks off. So I'm gonna take this chunk right here. We're gonna slice this thing nice and thin, and then we're gonna make a delicious pizza out of it. You know, what else do you want? I've done it all for you here, people. Let's cook some pizza. All right, so here is our ribeye. So we're gonna use the leaner end of the ribeye that we cut earlier. I put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes to firm it up, and we're gonna put it through our meat slicer and shave it. So we get this nice shaved look of ribeye, because you don't want it too thick, because again, it's only gonna be in that pizza oven for like 3 minutes, so we really gotta make sure that it gets cooked all the way. And you know, it's a little caramelized on top, so a little more rough edges will give it that crispy, crunchy taste and texture that we're looking for. We're kind of going a little steakhouse vibe on this one. So it's gonna have shaved ribeye, it's gonna have garlic butter and roasted red onions, a little bit of balsamic glaze, some arugula. I cannot wait. The flavor of this one is gonna be amazing. We are gonna be using the Brio pizza oven. Now the guys at Brio were nice enough to let me review this pizza oven. Now it is amazing. I got my Brio smokeless fire pit last year, use it all the time, but then when they came out with the pizza oven, I was like, oh man, this is awesome. And we are lucky enough at the Butcher Wizard to be one of the first people to get one for YouTube. So I wanted to show you how it works, just to kind of give you an overview. It's really, really simple, but it is amazing. If you've ever used a pizza oven before, it needs to be screaming hot, like 800-900 degrees to make that nice, thin crust of pizza. So the best way to do that is through wood fire. So I have used it several times since I got it. It's been a family favorite. On Saturdays, we fire up the pizza oven and we make pizzas. So I'm gonna show you how to do it now. First things are first, we have a roaring fire going in our Brio. It's burning down to coals, it's super hot, and we're gonna go ahead and put our pizza oven on top. Now, one thing about the pizza oven, this is all steel, man. This is heavy. So you may need a friend to help you out, but it's heavy. We're gonna let it get up to temperature. And then I got pizza dough. Now I make my own pizza dough. I pulled some out of the freezer because when you're doing these pizzas, a good way of doing it is to make a little extra pizza dough, and then you put it in the freezer, and then the extra in the freezer, and then you can pull it out whenever you need a impromptu pizza, which it has happened before. We've had impromptu pizzas. We're gonna roll it out, put it on our pizza peel, put a little cornmeal underneath, and then so it can slide on the pizza peel. We're gonna build our pizza on our pizza peel, a little bit of cornmeal on the bottom. So we're gonna use garlic butter, and then we're going to put our roasted red onions, and then we'll put our ribeye on there, and then we'll put it in the oven. When it hits that 700 to 900 degrees, Brio has a little dial in there that tells you when you're in the pizza zone. So when you're in the pizza zone, you go ahead and you slide that puppy in, and it only takes about 1.5 to 3 minutes per pizza. You really gotta pay attention because it's super hot in there. You wanna keep moving it around. Every 30 seconds, you'll pull it out with the pizza peel, give it a quarter or a half rotation, and put it in a different spot of the pizza oven. And you just continue to do that until it is crispy and bubbly and delicious. So we finished the first part of our pizza, cooked all of our hot ingredients, and now we're gonna add our room temperature ingredients to really set this one off. So it's gonna have a little bit of arugula, some blue cheese crumbles. I went ahead and bought the Roquefort, brought the nice blue cheese, so it's really, really soft. So hopefully just the ambient temperature of the pizza will kind of melt it even more. You can put as much blue cheese as you want. I know this is kind of a polarizing ingredient to put on a pizza or put on a steak at all. So I went on a limb here. And then we're gonna do our little balsamic glaze, give a nice little sweet and like tangy aspect to it. Just hit it with a little bit of it. I kind of envision this as a steakhouse salad, like meat pizza kind of thing. I gotta know, let's see how we did. On the crust, I went for like a little flatbread kind of crust, so I wanted it really thin. So we can stand up to all these ingredients, because we got a lot of stuff on this slice of pizza. So let me pick out a winner here. There's no arugula on that one. Let me get that one. All right. Our steakhouse ribeye pizza. This turned out so good. Shaving that ribeye was key because it's not overcooked, it's not chewy, but it's not raw either. If you would put anything any thicker than what we did, it would have been too thick and then not cooked all the way. All those flavors really come together. This is a great pizza. It's unorthodox, I know, but hey, we're trying new things here. Thanks for watching. Check out the next video. It should be somewhere floating somewhere over here. YouTube thinks you're gonna like one of these videos, so check them out.